All right, hey everyone. How are we doing? H and Golden, are you guys with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep. Hello, hello.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we've got this. Okay, good. Looks like everybody is able to talk. I'm not sure if Prime's going to join us. He said that he might be able to. But either way, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So hold up. I got to crack my Coke Zero here. Got to keep the old voice fresh as we go. So, how's it going?
It's a good idea. I should probably get something for myself.
Yeah, go crack a Coke Zero. Golden, what about you?
I don't like soda, but sure.
Yeah, I give you permission. Golden, you good?
Yep.
You want to go crack a Coke Zero?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
All right.
I need no caffeine.
Just in case anyone else wants to go crack a Coke Zero, now's a good time. Oh, by the way, this dev chat has been brought to you by Coke Zero. They are the official sponsor of this dev chat. Don't ask their marketing team. They probably don't. They probably aren't aware of that.
They don't know yet.
Neto, yeah, you can drink normal Coke because it's actually good where you come from. Up here in the northern part of the northern hemisphere, we like to make our soda pop with chemicals and not real sugar, so it's kind of rough. Yeah. Capitalism at its finest, I suppose. I have no idea what they're thinking, but yeah, what it is what it is. So, all right. Well, how's everyone doing for their weekend? Start of their weekend so far. H, got anything going on?
Pretty much just a lot of work.
A lot of MMA work.
Not related to MMA. But yeah.
Rats. All right. Well, I was hoping. A lot of schoolwork.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Okay. Yeah, that is rough. Golden, your weekend?
I've been sleeping. That's
nice.
pretty much
Just
it.
chilling.
So not only are you living the dream, but you're dreaming the live.
Exactly. Nailed
yeah.
it. That's exactly
Nice.
what I was thinking too.
Perfect. I got to go to our local high school's homecoming football game last night. I don't know, for those who aren't immersed into American football culture, it's quite a spectacle. People make a big deal out of it, and the crowds are packed, and there's a parade of floats and fireworks. Probably one of the, I forgot to tell you this, Golden, like the fireworks show they had, I was very impressed by for a local high school. That was my last night. This morning has been what else? Coding MMA for the last 3 hours, because we do, believe it or not, still have a version that we are hard at work on.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Hard at work on version 3.2. I will say 3.2 at this point, you could almost argue should be called 4.0. For a number of reasons, I think that it still makes sense to keep it at 3.2. There's a lot of back-end changes that...
In terms of like back-end changes, yeah, this should absolutely be 4.0.
We have completely recoded our enemies, completely recoded our platforms. I can't tell you how much we just patched a lot of this stuff together. Enemy physics, worked well enough, but had a lot of weirdness because every enemy handled their own physics. Platforms, that Met stage where like the platform brings the enemy up. Like, I could not get the enemies to actually come up smoothly, so I like went onto that platform object and like manually forced the enemies to move smoothly. Which is great for that one situation, not so great for, every other situation. And so, yeah, there's been a lot of work. And now the big buzzword that a lot of the alphas have heard is this concept of instance order handling, or IOH. And I thought I might actually take a few moments to kind of explain. So 3.2 is taking a very long time. And it's not for lack of effort. I'd say the devs have been, for better or worse, working on this pretty lot of hours being spent on this version. through the whole summer. Like we've been hard at work at this for probably a long time. Oh, Prime is here.
Prime is here.
I'll go ahead and promote Prime. Does Prime want to speak? I don't know. Let's see here. There it is. It's at the top. There. Prime, you have an invite if you want to speak. I don't know if you want to or not. So this instance order handling, we sometimes call it IOH. I thought I might actually share a quick. Let's see here if I can find the right thing. There we go. All right. Does everyone see a chalkboard? All right. So I know it's the weekend and everybody's happy to be away from school, but I'm going
Oh
to.
my god.
I'm going to school you all a little bit. I'm just going to take like 2 minutes to explain what a big deal instance order handling is. Okay. And I will say this, the instance order handling, it has been a long time coming. We've been needing to do this for a long time because all of our remaining desyncs, when you're playing online, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, are tied to this. And so here's the issue. And I'll use elevator mode as an example because elevator mode is a mode where we see a lot of desyncs, right? And so the more chaos we have, namely more weapons, the more enemies, the more player objects, the more likely a desync is to occur. And so here's a common example. Let's say we've got a couple of players here and they're overlapping somewhat. So you've got Mega Man and you've got Proto Man here. And over here you've got a couple of enemies. And so this enemy has hit points of 4 and this enemy has hit points of 2. And so let's say Mega Man fires a normal shot. So this is a Mega Man NS. And now let's say Proto Man fires a charge shot, which is worth 6 damage. And this is worth 2 damage. So if these shots both happen to hit this enemy at the same time, what ends up happening? Well, for the most part, we would, if you're playing offline, it doesn't matter. If the game decides that Proto Man shot hits first, this enemy is destroyed, and then Mega Man shot continues through, hits this enemy, and they're both destroyed. Here's the problem. When we're online, we have 2 different PCs, potentially 3 different PCs, and both of these are going to handle the instance order in a different way. We might, on the left, say, I'm going to handle the Mega Man shot first, and then do the Proto Man shot, whereas your computer, let's say you and I are playing online, might do the Proto Man shot, and then handle the Mega Man shot next. So on my side, what's going to happen, let's say this is me, and this is you. So on my side, what's going to happen is this enemy gets hit for 2 damage, and then Proto Man shot actually destroys the enemy, right? Now, Proto Man shot will continue to go through in this example, but we'll just say for now that let's focus on that. So on your side, what's going to happen is it's going to handle Proto Man shot first. So it's actually Proto Man shot's going to erase this enemy, and then Mega Man shot will come through and erase the enemy, and now we have a desync. Because on my side, one thing happened, and on your side, another thing happened. This example might even be better if this is a Mega Man charge shot, because we know, I'm just going to leave it alone for now. Regardless, we see that this instance order concept is a problem. We need to make sure that if my side says Mega Man's weapon happens first, that your side says the same thing, and this is why we call it instance order handling, or IOH. So we're putting in a tremendous amount of effort, which truly requires recoding almost the entirety of the game in a lot of places, at least as far as weapons are concerned. Enemies, players, things like that, those kinds of objects have to be recoded in such a way that now Mega Man Arena itself handles the instance order rather than Game Maker. We're basically saying, okay, Game Maker, you're fired. You don't get to handle the instance order anymore. We're going to handle the instance order. And that's why we have desyncs, and that's why Mega Man Arena 3.2 is taking so long. Because when we got to a point where we thought we were pretty close to getting to a release date, we hit this issue in full force and kind of recognized, okay, this has to be done. So, any questions on any of that? And by the way, this has nothing to do with netcode. Our netcode is stable. This has everything to do with just how GameMaker itself, for some reason, I can't explain, randomly decides the instance order on individual PCs. If it would just do it in a straightforward manner, this would not have been an issue, and we would have been done with desyncs a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know how much our audience also knows about GameMaker, but we've also been trying to get rid of custom coded events. And there's been a ton of those in the objects throughout the game.
Yes, yeah. There's actually a pretty public example of GameMaker's limitations in this regard when you look at Rivals of Aether. Rivals of Aether was built on GameMaker, and they were trying to deploy rollback netcode. And rollback netcode, as you can imagine, if you're going to go back and replay parts of the game, this instance order thing has to be handled. And so they worked really hard to completely recode their game, which their game was way more complex than our game. And so they were pretty public about this whole venture that they undertook in order to make rollback work. So we could, in theory, look at rollback once instance order is done. We're definitely not going to try to tackle that with 3.2. But if we have 4.0 come along and we say, hey, we might want to look at rollback netcode, then at least now we can. Because now we can make sure that if you replay parts of the game, that it's replayed in the exact same order. H. Golden, Prime, anything to add to this part of the conversation?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, I think we've gone pretty in depth on this already. I think as devs we already understand the issue, so we don't really have anything to add. It's more of a matter of if our audience understands what the problem is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just there really are two sides of this. We needed to redo the physics. That has been a long time coming, and that was taking a very long time. But we were getting to the end of the physics changes, and that's when we realized, okay, this instance order handling also can't wait. So
yeah, it had to happen.
Yeah. So that's what's been holding us up. Wanted to kind of be a little bit more, I don't know about upfront, but just at least give you guys kind of the logic and the reason behind what's happening, because it kind of feels like we haven't had any updates in a while, because we haven't. We've also kind of been holding back some of our bigger announcements about 3.2 because we didn't want to announce everything and then make everybody wait another 4 months for the release, right? So we released Crystal Man's trailer back at the real IRL tournament in July, right? And we're gonna be talking internally about when we think this version's going to release, and to go ahead and start releasing some updates on content here pretty soon.
Yeah, we don't want to leave everyone in the dark. We just because of these bigger changes, we haven't had the time to announce anything.
All right. Questions? I have not been watching the chat very closely, so if you had a question, I'm sorry. Go ahead and maybe post it again.
Yeah, I guess it's time for questions now.
Golden, did you see something in here where somebody was asking questions?
I think we had a couple questions early on, but I'm pretty sure most of them got answered.
Oh, okay, good. Yes, I see something about a grilled cheese sandwich. Yes, I can make a grilled cheese sandwich. All right. Cool.
Favorite cheese is obviously provolone.
Golden's is provolone. I like melted provolone, but I mean, like if you're talking about melted, like American cheese is still like I got onto a big kick where like American cheese is disgusting, but if it's melted, it's really good. Otherwise, usually cheddar or something. I'm munching on like a mozzarella cheese stick, so does that count? I didn't have time to grab lunch before this, so I grabbed a couple snacks. Okay. So let's go and move on to the next thing. We do have a quick 3.2 demonstration. It's wanted to at least give you guys a little something to be excited about. Oh, let me check this out. All right. So, Mega Man Arena 3.2, we have a couple new skins to show off. We have Rokko in her bunny skin, made by Hamster, and the animation. Shoot, Jose, I already forget who made the animation. Was it Knightley, or did I have that all backwards? I even asked beforehand, and then I forgot. And then yes, Pluto finally has a Game Boy skin made by Max. So even his weapons are white masked. Oh yeah. Everything looks like he's actually from the Game Boy game, which is pretty exciting. Rokko, meanwhile, she's got some bunny ear action going on because I guess the creator actually had a design for this and didn't end up implementing it into his game. Love how her ears flop in with the dash. That's pretty amazing. And so he never actually implemented it, and we were able to bring it to life. There you go. Jose says it's a 2011 reference to the year of the rabbit. So, Knightley says he wasn't involved. Oh, Exy, that's right. Exy made the skin. Hamster made the animations. Thank you very much. I don't know why it was a little hectic getting things put together in time for this, so I apologize for getting that wrong. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to show off here. I mean, obviously we've got individual sprites for, if we slow the game down, you can kind of see her down shot for her volcano weapon. Pluto's got, again, his weapons are white masked. Oh, and I almost forgot. So, may also notice Pluto has a new walking animation made by Knightley. So he no longer has the Mega Man arm swing. And then, of course, if he's shooting while he's moving, then he also looks a little different. I love how he moves with his arm out in front.
I love how the tail movement is.
Yeah, that's
really
true.
smooth.
Tail movement is great.
Such a cool dude.
So there we go. So a little something. Again, we've got a whole lot of really major announcements coming that we just, until we really get some of those out, there's not a whole lot that we can showcase at this point. There are a few other things that we could show off, but I really think it's going to be better to have that in light of some of the other things that are coming. So we've got more. We've got some big things coming in 3.2, and I really do think that it has the potential to kind of get our game out there a little bit more in a lot of ways. So I'm very excited for what is coming, and you guys will just have to wait and see what that is. But again, we did shut down conversations around putting out new trailers for a couple of months there. We are picking those conversations back up, and hopefully we'll have a few things to announce real soon. The victory animation. So, Jose, you were going to post that, right? I can try to show off the victory animation.
Looks like Jose already posted it.
Oh, okay, good. Good. All good. Yeah. All right, so that's what we had to show off here. Just 15, 20 minutes of chatting about 3.2 status updates, assure everyone that it's still being actively worked on. We've tried to give a little bit of an example of what's happening with it. We have successfully converted, I'd say about half of the objects to IOH at this point, and it's working pretty well. So we have to a pretty big undertaking next is converting all of the weapon objects to that. And every time I think I'm ready to sit down and start working on it, Termina posts about 15 bugs related to Rush Marine, since, again, we completely recoded Rush Marine, and then I have to fix Rush Marine for 15 hours. But joking aside, it's not actually just Rush Marine is the example that gets tossed around a lot. It's more of just an inside joke at this point. There are a lot of bugs related to all of the physics changes that we've been making, and that's a lot of what I've had to spend a lot of time on. Yeah, even Knightley posted bugs, and Knightley is like not an alpha tester. He's just an artist, and those artists, like, I don't know what joke I'm trying to make there.
I'm not bailing you out.
I was hoping. All right. So that's it for me. H Golden, Prime, anybody have anything they want to bring up?
Wouldn't say so.
Nah, there's not much I can talk about because all my stuff hasn't been officially announced yet.
We are, our hands are still just a little bit tied. I think the next time we have a dev chat, we'll be able to open up a little bit more about things. So
yeah.
Termina is working on new sound effects. So,
there's gonna be plenty of those.
I'm not sure which one you mean, Termina, but Termina's really helped to identify how many of our attacks are just silent right now. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to.
We also love to reuse sound effects when we can.
Yeah, for sure. But looking at things like Quake normal shot and Base when he transforms, he was missing the sound effect from the game that it uses, and when Roll fires shots from the vacuum, like, that's just silent. So we're trying to fill in the gaps where it makes sense to do so, and Termina's really been rocking out on that. So thanks to her for that. All right. So any Nightly. There has been a lot of artwork updates. Yes. The Pluto walk sprite, for example. There have been a few other things, and honestly, we've really needed a lot of new sprites created as well. So artists have been really kicking it lately. So
gotta lock in for those ladder animations.
All right. So yeah, we got about 5 minutes left for questions. So if anybody has anything, go ahead and post it into the chat. Will Ruby Spears Mega Man be in Mega Man Arena? I kind of feel like we have him. Isn't that what Mega Man Arena style is? Now I've got your power.
Yeah, that's basically
style?
what he is.
But I mean, you'd have to give me some examples of things that Mega Man does in the Ruby Spears cartoon. Because, like, we did that with Roll, right? Like, Roll attacks with her vacuum buster in the Ruby Spears, and we gave her that attack in the game. So we have tons of Ruby Spears references, but I'm not sure that Mega Man does anything specific outside of now I've got your power.
Oh yeah, we also have the Pharaoh Man punch. That's right.
Yeah, and the fact that it robs him of his weapon, right? Like, it removes Mega Man's weapon if he has one. I don't even know how many people know that.
I did not know that.
New fun trivia for everyone who didn't know.
You didn't know that, Golden?
Nope. I'm uneducated.
That's fascinating.
Uncultured.
Golden and I were talking this morning, and I was showing off that there's a secret stage that can be accessed that nobody's ever found. I'm gonna have to start dropping. I forgot all about it. I put it in like 2 years ago, and so I'm gonna have to drop some hints as to how to find it.
Somebody
New MMA lore
discover it
update.
eventually.
Yeah. I put like nobody would ever find it. I meant to post hints on it, and I just completely forgot about it. So, am I Ed Boon? I don't know what Ed Boon is.
He makes Mortal Kombat, and I think he has a self-insert character.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Does
Yeah,
he have
we
a
need
self-insert character.
We all have a self-insert character.
We need
Yeah.
another ARG to Hamster's point.
Wait,
Hey,
we all have a
Hamster.
self-insert character? Who am I?
Yeah, Jax had a version 2 ARG planned, and I don't think it ever happened. So,
Everybody needs to decide who I am.
Giant Enemy Crab asked a question. Now that Pluto has a skin referencing his actual sprite, will other characters, the 2 and 3 RMs from Wily Wars, get a similar treatment? Wily Wars is 16-bit style, right? Like, we're not going to put
Genesis
16-bit.
style.
Yeah, we're not going to put 16-bit styles in. No. I think there's a place for styles like just visual, like skins. I'd have to think of an example, and nothing's super coming to mind right now. But
Like Mega Man and Roll from the Mega Man and Roll game you were playing that I don't know if you ever beat.
well, like collaborations, yeah. Like if we were to collab with a game that draws Mega Man in a different way, that could be at least an interesting skin.
Oh yeah, rock and roll.
There's quite a few of
Did you
them.
ever beat that?
Oh no, we got
I thought you
beat
beat it on stream.
Yeah. Nobody ever, or I never finished it. So yeah, I mean, kind of, Giant Enemy Crab. The which by the way, I still love your name. The reference, but the longer answer, I guess, is, or maybe shorter answer, whichever one it is at this point, is that we're going to continue to explore skin options for sure. Like our skin code. That was a big reason 3.1 ended up being massive as well, because we're like, hey, let's add skins. And oh my goodness, that took a long time. But the code is in now, and it's solid, which is why now the artists can just pull up the game, drop a bunch of files in, and be like, here, we have a new skin for Rokko or Pluto. And maybe we'll have a couple others as well to show off at some point. MMA ARG, but it's an elaborate advertisement for Diamond Bonds. This entire game has been a 7-year strategy to advertise for Diamond Bonds nightly. Like, I'm disappointed you haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I haven't been.
The marketing ploy.
Yeah, it was all a ruse. All right. Yeah, Hamster's joking about me starting a new YouTube channel streaming Mega Man fan games. I kind of thought that we would just kind of put some more content like that onto the Mega Man Arena channel and just kind of turn it into a, having fun with Mega Man games channel, whether it's fan games or otherwise. So we'll have to see if we keep wanting to stream.
Mega Man Arena, the home of the crossover.
Well, that's what Smash Brothers became, and didn't start that way, but we kind of we've taken steps that way, I guess, now with Quake and Rokko being in the game. Quake is not really a collaboration, but it is a. If we start that argument, Quake is not a Capcom property. Oh well, whatever.
It's a crossover.
Okay. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, everyone. No reason to kind of keep this going. If you got any other questions about 3.2 stuff, never hesitate to just post it into the MMA chat and ask your questions, because we want to be as transparent as we can without ruining any surprises. So
yeah,
never hesitate to ask
we love
them.
transparency here.
Yeah,
No, we don't.
Okay, well, one of us doesn't.
All right.
Keep all the secrets.
We did get one last question here, and then we'll call it. So, are there going to be any better solutions in the future regarding establishing connections? Zero tier. I don't know anything about zero tier. I'd have to take a look at that. My understanding, and obviously I'm not an expert on game server mechanisms, but Yeah, NAT bypass is kind of a big deal, and the easiest way to get around NAT is to simply have a game server that actually handles your inputs. So, is it something I'd love to? Yeah, I mean, it's something I'd absolutely love to do. It would cost a whole lot more money. Right now, our server costs $10 a month, and that's because it just sets people up, and then they send their inputs to each other, which is why it breaks when you try to connect to somebody through a bad NAT or a more strict NAT situation, because you're trying to send inputs to each other and they can't get through. If you're both just communicating to a server in the internet, well, now your inputs are fine because you're not directly exchanging them with each other. And you can always exchange information with a public entity, so long as your internet service provider isn't blocking it for some reason. But I can look into zero tier. I guess I'll take a look at it. I mean, it would have to have native in-game integration, but I mean, the ultimate solution is to have an actual network or internet server that exchanges your inputs. That's what all of the real video games do, and it would have to come. I mean, I don't know how hard it would be. I don't think it would be that hard. The bigger issue is maintaining it, and Mega Man Arena isn't exactly consumed at a. I don't know. I don't think it's going to cost us $1,000 a month, but it might cost a couple $100 a month, and then we'd have to find a way to fund that. Ideally, that isn't my bank account. That's the ideal. So. Well, again, really appreciate it, everyone. Some good questions in there. Hopefully that gives everyone a little bit of hope around 3.2. I can tell you it's going to be a good release. So thanks for your patience, and we look forward to giving you all more information very, very soon. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we will talk soon.
Bye.
See ya.
Toodles.